Hi. So if we're passing out some handouts for you, if you need one, please raise your hand and somebody can come up and give you one. So a little bit about our company. We're De-Clutter Hawaii and Senior Move Managers. We've been helping seniors and non-seniors declutter their homes and help them with the transition of moving. But today we're going to talk about decluttering and aging in place. We call ourselves the decluttering specialists. We are part of the Better Business Bureau as well as this National Association of Senior Move Managers. There's actually a national association with us. There are about 800 other companies like ours in the mainland that we're a part of. So we like to joke a little bit. I'm the clutter fairy. I'm going to have to come back because I'm going to need a much bigger wand. Right? We all think, oh, I just need a big wand to say poof and be gone and organized and decluttered. We wish we had that, right? The other one is, I'm not disorganized. I know exactly where everything is. The newer stuff on the top, the older stuff on the bottom, right? Some of us, we have what we call organized clutter. We know exactly where everything is in the different piles, right? So De-Clutter Hawaii and Senior Move Managers, we do a few things. We help clients to downsize and declutter. We help them to move into retirement communities or care homes or even their adult child's home. We help with estate clearouts. When a loved one has passed away, the family will call us and say, my auntie has an estate and a home and we need some help with it. Aging in place, that's why we're all here today, right? We want to all age in place. And then also customize floor planning and space planning for your home so that everything has a place. So typical scenarios we see, you're retired and now you're starting the process, right? You're starting the process and planning for your future. We all want to age in place and we're all gonna get older, right? Someday we'll get older. You'll need some assistance as we age. A lot of our clients, they've lived in their home for many years and every year you collect more things, right? How many of you lived in your home for 30 years? 40, 50, 60. Okay, our record was an 88-year-old woman. She lived in her home for 82 years. She collected some stuff, right? Yes, so she collected a lot of things, and we actually saw some video of over here, Kapiolani Boulevard when it didn't have all the buildings. And it was really awesome to see those kind of things. But you collect a lot of stuff over time. And then last but not least, you know somebody who needs help. Maybe you've gone to a friend's home and you're thinking, oh my goodness, how does she live like this? Or how do they walk around? How does he get to the bathroom or the bedroom, right? So you know somebody who needs help. Now you know who they can call. You can call us. So the emotional process. It's very emotional to get rid of our stuff, right? At any age, I moved out of my parents' house and then I moved and finally bought a house and it was emotional to get rid of the stuff, right? So at any age, it's hard to get rid of your stuff. But the more you live in that home, the more memories there are, right? You remember that your daughter had this bedroom and she had it pink when she was little and then she just hated pink so it was blue later. And you know, you have all the memories that's in the home. We understand that, and we go through that with our client every day. So we have some tips and some things that you can do to help go through that emotional process. We don't call your stuff clutter. We don't call it junk. We don't even call it the other C-letter word that people sometimes use, crap. Yeah? We don't say, oh, Lord, you got a lot of in your house, right? For us, it's a lifetime of memories. It's a lifetime of your memories, right? So we do cherish that. And we do understand that it is very emotional to go through all of this stuff. And like it says, it's a lifetime of memories to you. It's not clutter. But hey, a daughter or a son or a niece or nephew can come in and say, Mom, why do you have all this junk here? I'll get a trash can and I'll throw it all away for you. Right? They don't see that emotional attachment that you have. And last but not least, sometimes it's a big safety. Right? It's a safety concern for us. When we go in homes and we have a hard time walking through the home, it must be very unsafe for our clients. So tips, number 1, remove trip hazards. Right? We want to make sure that there's enough space to walk around your home so that you don't accidentally trip over something. Even though you say, oh, that little stool's been there for years. One day at night, you might get up, want to get some water. You'll trip over it because there's nowhere to fall. You'll fall on something and hurt yourself. Okay? We want to remove the trip hazards. The other thing that we notice as we age, we start to shift our feet when we walk, right? Instead of lifting our feet. So those kind of things. Area rugs, I know we all love them, but they're not the safest for us as we age. Number 2, increased lighting. You'll be amazed how much you'll see when you change your bulb or you get your son or your nephew to come and change the bulb for you. You won't imagine how much things you can actually see when you actually just change lighting. Okay? Remove the clutter, right? That's what we're here for, is to help you remove the clutter in your home. Number 4, add grab rail bars. There's a lot of different grab rail bars that you can purchase at the different stores and get it installed or have somebody install it. There's a lot of companies out there that can help you with home modifications. And number 5, the mobility issues. A lot of people will tell us, well, I can walk around my house freely right now. But what will happen if something happens to you or your husband or your son or your daughter and you need to come home in a walker? Or if you need to come home in a wheelchair, right? We're not thinking about right now, we want to think about the future. For instance, I just moved into a townhouse and my grandmother comes and visits us a lot because I have a daughter. In my home, I want to make sure there's a lot of places to walk around. So from the door out into the living room, there's no sofa or no table in the way. It's very accessible for anybody to walk around in the house. And we want to make sure that it's like that everywhere. Okay. Oops, sorry. Where do we start? So we can come and do a free 1-hour service. What we call it a free 1-hour service because you can do whatever you want with that 1 hour. Some clients will call us and say, can you come to my house and help me assess the situation? Some of them will have 10, 20 questions for me and just ask us the questions and we can help you. You can do whatever you want during that 1 hour of free service. You can have us come and haul away trash. You can have us come and take your donations away. Or you can come and spend that time with us so that we can get to know what your needs would be and give you an assessment and a cost. We basically want to talk to you about what your goals are. We'll want to see what your house looks like, see how you move around, and see what kind of things that we can do to help you get started. How do we conquer this clutter? Number 1, start with the least used rooms and closets. So we say this because if we start with our bedroom, it's the most personal space to us. Right? How many of us can't get rid of our clothes that we think we're going to get into sometime, right? Our New Year's resolution, gotta lose weight. The clothes have still been there 5 years ago, right? So we want to start with the least used rooms. Don't start with the bedroom because unfortunately we're not going to get very far. Start with your adult child's room. Did he graduate or did she graduate maybe 10, 15 years ago but still have all their stuff in their bedroom? They moved to the mainland, they went to college, they found a girlfriend, a wife, and not coming back home. Let's start with those bedrooms. The bedrooms that are not personal to us. Or the linen closet. How many of you have a queen bed but still have twin sheets in your closet? Or the opposite way. Now we have 2 twin beds and not a king bed, right? Get rid of those linen. Your old towels, we have a lot of clients that we go into the house and the towels that are hung in the bathroom are kind of teared and not very pretty. And then we go in their closet, oh, the nice Ralph Lauren towels and all nice and a little fluffy. Why don't we use those towels, right? Let's donate to Humane Society all the towels that, could be used by somebody else. And let's use the expensive ones that we got from our daughter 2 Christmases ago, right? So those are the places that are easier to get done because they're not as personal and they're not practical. Right? After we get rid of those things and start going to those rooms, it'll get easier as you get to your more personal space. So by the time you get to your bedroom, or sometimes for some of us, our kitchen, it'll be easier to go through the process of decluttering. Okay, number 2, schedule time to start, be committed, and set mini goals. So when we say schedule time to start, we should actually get started, right? Because some of us will say, oh yeah, I'm going to start next weekend. It's a free weekend and I got nothing else to do. The weekend comes and your granddaughter has a soccer game you forgot about, or there's a birthday party that you have to go to, and then you say, oh, it's okay, I'll do it next weekend. Okay. Next weekend comes, oh, I'll do it again. I'll do it the week after. A week becomes a month, and a month becomes a year, and next year when we speak again, you'll be like, you remember talking to me? I told you I was going to start last week, but I haven't yet. Okay, so let's be committed when we have a scheduled time to start. The other thing is set mini goals. And what we mean by that is not, I'm going to clear out my garage in a week. Right? That's a really big goal. Right? That's unrealistic. So what we like to do is say, okay, I'm going to clean out my garage in maybe 2 months. Okay, the first 2 weeks, I'm going to clear out the front right portion. The next 2 weeks, the back right portion. And then the left. That way, those are mini goals so that you can accomplish those and get over that hurdle of making that process, right? Because once you start, you keep going, it'll be easier and easier. And then you'll say, oh, I can do that room in a week. But that's what we want to do. We want to get over the small goals so that we can get to our bigger goal. We don't want to say, I'm going to do it in a week, the full garage, and then what people do is, oh, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to put a sheet over it or a tarp. I can't see it, it's not there. Okay, we tend to do that, right? Because if we can't see it, then it's not going to bother us, right? Because we feel that I can't do it myself, so I just won't do it. Number 3, sort your things into 4 categories. Now, in your home, you have 4 categories of your stuff. A lot of people say, Cynthia, you have no idea. I've got about 20 piles. But there's actually 4 different categories in your home of your things, and we'll go over that shortly. Number 4, begin with the high traffic areas. You know the hallway? Some of us, we have bookcases in our hallway. Our hallway's like, 3 feet wide, and with a bookcase, it gets maybe 2 feet. Okay? We want to work on the high traffic areas. Okay, wherever we're walking, we want to make sure there's at least a 3-foot walkway so that we will not fall, we won't hurt ourselves. And last but not least, minimize incoming items. So Sunday, this coming Sunday, when we get the newspaper, everyone looks through the ads, right? They get their pen and paper out, they start writing a list. Oh, pasta's on sale, gotta buy 5. Oh, pasta sauce on sale, gotta buy 5. Right? Limit 5, we always buy 5, right? Before you get to Long's, make sure you check your cupboard. Make sure you don't have 10, 20 boxes of pasta already. Because I kid you not, in about 5 weeks, the ad will come out again. And you'll still save the 50 cents per can or the 25 cents per can, but at least that way you're not going to be adding more, right? We want to make sure what we're bringing into the home has a space. I went to a client's home and did a first consult, and I was about 8 months pregnant. And I opened the door, and I actually had a hard time opening the door because there was stuff behind the door. So I had to squeeze my body through it, and I couldn't walk standing up because there was canned goods and stuff all over the place. There was literally what we call a trail home. So I had to walk like this so that I could see, make sure I didn't fall over a canned good. Now, that client was in her 80s. How unsafe is that for her, right? We want to make sure when we bring all these canned goods home that it goes into the cupboard and it doesn't go in front of the cupboard or it doesn't go on the ground or anywhere else. We want to make sure we have space for all these things. So make sure you use up all your items that you have in your home because you'll save money, because you won't be spending all this money and having expired food. So minimize those incoming items. So as we go to our client's home, we ask a few questions. It may seem like simple questions, but when you go through it at your home yourself, you'll realize, wow, that's kind of a hard question to answer. Do I really need it? Most times it's yes, right? Most of our clients will say, of course I need it. It's in my home. All right. When was the last time you used it? Now, if you got to scratch your head and go, oh, okay, when was he fine? Oh, maybe 5 years ago. Okay. When will you use it again? Most times they'll say, oh, put it on the side. I'll use it tomorrow. You know the only reason why is because if not, we'll ask another question. How often do you use it? And is the item replaceable? So true story, we had a client, we went in and we started to declutter their home, and we found a juicer, right? I asked her, oh, do you need this? And she said, oh, yeah. She tells me the story that, 3 years ago, I had so much fruit, and I thought, I got to do something with the fruit. So I bought a juicer, I picked all the fruit, I made a lot of juice, I stored it, and I shared it with my church friends and family. I cleaned it up really, really good and put it in the box, and I put it in my container in the closet. The time she saw it was because we pulled it out. And she says, that's where it is. And I asked her, oh, so when are you going to use it again? She says, oh, leave it on the table because I'm going to use it tomorrow because a lot of fruit still, yeah? You see all the fruit. I'll go make you some juice. She actually did make juice. She did go and pick the fruit. She made the juice. She stored it because we had some juice the next day. And after she cleaned it and put it back, I asked her again, do you really need it? And she told me, you know, Cynthia, where I'm going, I don't really need it. She was moving into a retirement community, but she said, I don't really need it because I'm not going to have any fruit anymore. And, you know, I only used it, once in the past 3 years. So as you go through your things, ask yourself those questions. You'll really start to think like, oh, maybe I don't need it. In my family, my husband is the one that always says, Cynthia, do you really need it? And most times it's clothes, right? It's, do you need those 8 dresses in the closet that's taking room? So he asks me, when are you going to use it again? And those kind of things. So it does actually help you when somebody else asks you those questions because it makes you think. It makes you go through the whole process of, when was the last time I used it? Or do I really need it? So think about those questions. And if you need to, think about me asking you those questions. That's fine. So 4 categories of things in your home. So in your entire home, there's 4 categories. We start with the R, the retain. Things you want to keep or things you want to, say, take with you. Outside of that, it's stuff that you don't want, right? So we start with the furniture. What furniture can you keep or what furniture should you keep? And then we go with the offer. Things you want to donate, things you want to give to your family and your friends. And we also not only ask our immediate family, we want to ask our extended family. Because we find that sometimes nieces or nephews used to visit auntie all the time and remembered, you know, this Japanese doll, and the kids don't want it. And we had a client that said, oh, auntie, can I have the doll if, you know, cousins don't want it? And she said, oh, yeah, sure, you can. And then she asked, why? And then he said, because I always remembered that doll when I came to your house, and I thought it was so pretty, and she liked it. So she kept it to remember her auntie. And how much does that feel in here, right? Doesn't that make you feel great when something you thought nobody would want, somebody actually would want and would enjoy it? So think about your extended family as well. If you're willing to give things for free to your family, think about your extended family. And there's also a lot of places to donate things, okay? The other thing is to sell. Now, everybody wants some money for some of their stuff, right? Unfortunately, not everything can be sold. We have clothes, can't sell very well. Electronics, appliances, kid toys and kid things can sell pretty well. And then nice furniture that is in really good condition. You can get something for it. So you can sell it online. You can have an estate sale, a garage sale, or a moving sale, or however you want to do it, another category. So if you're not going to keep it, your friends, your family doesn't want it, you can't sell it, it can't be donated because maybe it's a little termite eaten or it's really dirty, it's been outside for 50 years. The last place, unfortunately, is the dump, the toss. Okay? So what we do is we can actually have 4 different boxes of stuff for you. The sell pile, the donate pile, the keep pile, and the trash pile. And then we'll take it off the property, or you need to do something with it. But you want to visualize there are 4 piles of things in your home when you go through things. This is a before the sort. Now, do you see that there's an indoor pool? 80-year-old woman lived by herself, had a pool. Some of the spaces had maybe 2 feet of walking space, not very good. She could have tripped, fall into the pool, nobody would find her. Unfortunately, this can happen. Over here, Bisquick and cereal, long stuff, didn't ever make it to the kitchen. So what we did with this client was we went through all the items with her, we sorted it into those 4 piles of stuff, and then we helped her to get it off the property. Now the backstory of this is this client had her house for sale for a year. I'm not a realtor, but we do help realtors. She had her house on the market for a year. It didn't go. I wonder why, right? I just bought a house, and I probably would have told my husband, we don't need to see this house. But after a year, she kind of gave up. She said, oh gosh, I can't do this anymore. Then she saw that there's a service out there that can help her. We helped her to sort everything out. We helped her to do a few minor repairs in her house. Turned out like that. She sold her house after the first opening and moved to Arcadia. She was so happy. She was ecstatic. Now, some things in here we salvaged. Some things we gave away, we donated. In this cabinet over here, it was a kind of a large cabinet. She was a retired teacher. She saved all the tofu containers, all the pie containers, all the milk cartons. How many retired teachers do we have? Okay? Because it can be used again. She just didn't know where it could go or what she could do with it. So we donated it to the elementary schools around her area, and they could use it for arts and crafts and things, right? But she saved it because she could reuse it again, but just didn't know where to put it or where to give it to. So we helped her with that whole process. Again, we did some minor things outside of the pool, cleaned it up, and it was ready for the realtor. This is a toss pile. Now again, a 80-year-old woman, she has a whole bench weight set, so I kind of joked around with her. Oh, Mrs., oh, you lift weights, how much can you lift? And she said, Cynthia, you're such a joker. That's my son's. I was like, oh, okay, would you like us to deliver it for you? Oh, no, he's in Hilo now. Oh, okay. I was like, how come it's here? She said, oh, about 20 years ago he bought it and when he was living here and said, Mom, I don't have space in my house. Can you keep it in your garage? So he did, and I guess 10 years later he moved to Hilo, but she still didn't give it away. So unfortunately, everything in this garage could probably have been donated 10 years ago or so. The bench set was rusted out, so we couldn't donate it to anyone. So unfortunately, we had to toss all this. And about 80% was not her things. It was her children's. And as a child that stores things at her mom's house, it's hard, right, for parents to say no to their kid, right? But the thing is, you guys, we have to get it out of the house so that it will look nice for our parents. This is what the garage looks like. It's a 3-car garage. It was a 40-foot container of things to put in the toss, and it took about 6 hours to lug it in. So decluttering services, we help you plan, schedule, and coordinate your project, whether you want to age in place, whether you want to move, whether you need some other assistance in your home, like Cocoa Care, any of the home health places. Organize your personal belongings into the sort pile. We help you to create space planning for your home, walk you through the entire process, to be there to hold your hand through the process of decluttering, as well as making some minor repairs in your home and home modifications. We'll also to help you to schedule, coordinate any vendor, and what we help you to set up your new home or your new start. So floor plans. This is what we do in your home. We can draw a floor plan of your current home, or say if you're moving to somewhere, we can draw a floor plan of the home with the inside dimensions. What a floor plan is good and used for is so that you can see what it looks like from the top down, right? When we're sitting in there, we're like, oh yeah, I can fit through that little corner and I can go around there. But when you look from it from top to bottom, you'll realize, wow, why do I have all this stuff? I can't get into that corner, or it's not easily accessible. Then we talk to you about the furniture you want to keep. What items do you really need? You have 2 bedrooms, but you got 3 beds, and you only have 1 body. Okay, this person moved to a 1-bedroom. Most of our clients will move, and now they're starting to declutter and age in place, but still the same thing. We found beds in living rooms. We found beds behind the bed because it was standing up, and then a bed was in front of it. We found couches and everywhere, tables, dressers. So what we do is then talk to you about what furniture you'd like to keep, and then what will fit. And then we'll put it on a floor plan so that you can see where all the walking space is. So as you enter the entry, there's about 3 feet of space around, so you can still get through. You want to make sure that there's access into all the areas. Now this is a retirement community, so of course they had to downsize anyways to get into their home, but we can do this for your existing home as well. A lot of times clients will see that, wow, I can't get into the corner. If you put 2 bookcases next to each other, or a desk and a bookcase, you can't open the drawers in one way. So this helps you to visualize it from the top bottom so that you know, okay, there's not enough space for me to walk around. And we can do this in your home as well. Protecting valuables. So I come from a very large family. I'm the oldest of 14 grandchildren. Percy Ihara is actually my uncle, and there's 6 of them. So in our family, we have a really big family, and preserving our family heirlooms, our photos, our videos are very important to us. So we want to make sure that we extend that to our clients and who we call our family as well. So anytime we find photos or videos, we always ask the question, what would you like to do with it? right? Sometimes we don't have enough space to keep all those photos that we had 50 years ago, right? Now it's all digital. It fits on a little thingy, thumb drive, right? But what can you do with all those photos? Well, we can help you to preserve it by getting it scanned. Or video. I'm getting my 8mm. My grandfather just found, it said Cynthia, 1982, so I was 3 years old. I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to see what I look like on video at 3. So I actually took it to Costco, and they're going to put it on a DVD for me. But there's so many places that can help you to preserve these family photos and videos for you so that you can keep it forever. And you might not want it, but your grandkids or even your great-grandkids, that would be really awesome for them to be able to see what you look like and what you look like when you're younger. So locate wills, trust, and life insurance. Some of us don't even know where they are. They're like, oh, it's somewhere in the closet. So we want to make sure that any financial information that we find, that you know where it is, and then we'll help you to organize it. Make sure you shred any paperwork. Now, even though it's 20, 30 years ago paperwork, what we've been noticing is that your social security number is what they used to use, right, to identify you. Not an account number 00825, whatever, but they used to use your social security number. So if it has your social security number on it, please make sure you get it shredded. Now, I don't mean go buy a $50 shredder and spend 3 hours every day shredding, because unfortunately, you will burn out the motor. Hey, there's a lot of places on the island that can also shred for you for like $2.50 to up to $5. So if you have any questions, you can come and ask us and we can help you with that. But yes, there are places that you can do shredding, as well as community events you can do shredding. And then we always want to keep the family involved. We want to make sure that the daughters and the sons know what's going on at the home. We've also actually helped clients that we've never even met in person. Their parent had passed away, and we've been doing everything via email. Getting organized. Okay, so we need to get organized after we declutter, right? We don't want to get rid of all of our stuff and declutter and not get organized. What we want to do is get organized and start new habits, right? If we don't start new habits, you're gonna call me again in 6 months and say, Cynthia, I cluttered my home again. We don't want to do that. So we help you to get organized in the process. Identifying the most valuable space in your home. Find out about the most used items, most often used space that you go into your home, and then find ways to make those more efficient, more organized. So we'll come in and we'll look at what kind of systems you have. And a lot of people say, well, what kind of system do you use? And it's not our system, it's your system. So we'll come in and talk to you about what you do and how you do things, and then create a system that's good for you. Not necessarily what's good for my home is going to be good for your home. So we come and we work with you to create a system that will best fit you. We look at space and see how we can be more efficient with it. And a lot of times we look at the closets. Shoes is a big thing, photos, and kitchens. So this is a before, the typical shoe box, right? You come home, you throw your shoes in there, you close the door because you don't want to see it, it's all a mess. And in the morning you have to go and make sure you have the right set of shoes, and I do have the right set of shoes. So I'll be honest with you, I did this once, and I came with the 2 different pairs of shoes on. That's because I was rushing, and it was a big seminar like this. But so anyways, 36 pairs of shoes can look like that, and now I have that. But this is 36 pairs of shoes in 1 square foot of space. So the space I'm taking up is how much space it would take. So you can put it in the corner, that's in a closet, that fits 36 pairs of shoes. Now people ask me, well, will my men's shoes fit? Or will, all of my husband's shoes fit? Well, my husband is 6'2", and his shoes go on the bottom because they're the heaviest, and then mine, and then my daughter's are on the top. And I've had to declutter my shoes tremendously. So it fits all in a 1 square foot space, all 3 of our shoes. And it's organized, you can find it. This is creating usable space with a storage bench, right? A lot of people have hope chests, right? And the newest addition is a bench. So what we did in this family is the woman had a lot of photos. She didn't want to scan it. She wanted to make it in books so that she could give it to her sons, wives, and all that. The husband said, you're never going to do it. Their youngest is 12, and you have pictures from when he was 2. But to compromise in that family, what we did was we got this bench. We put all of her photos and all the albums that she wants to do, even some linen. We closed it. We put 2 pillows on it. So he uses it to put on his shoes, his pants. In the morning, and when he gets home, He doesn't have to see the photos. He doesn't have to know where it is. And the wife gets to keep it. So we have to make a compromise, right? We want to make sure that everybody is happy in this situation. So this helped in this family, and there was enough space to walk around the bed. Cabinet space. Now you see how a lot of our clients have nice large cabinets, right, in their homes. But we don't use up all this space up here, right? All unused space. So what we do is we can buy these inexpensive wire racks, and it works to put bowls on top of it or plates in it. Now you're using the whole space in your cabinet, and you're not having to lift up all the platters to get to the plates. Now in this family, it was a younger family. The children set the table every day. Every day they had to come and grab these plates. In order to grab the plates, they had to get the platters off of it, and they were heavy. You know, the parents were worried that one day they're gonna not carry it well and it's gonna splatter and break. So what we did was we put it up here. They can easily grab them, and now they can set the table easier. And they're using the space wisely. Okay? So a lot of things that you can do. I've got these wire racks even in my pantry. Because I have a townhouse, it's a smaller pantry, but because it's so high, I don't want to stack my canned goods. So I'll use this so I can have a second layer, right? Not every canned good is stackable. All right, some of them will have the groove and you can stack it nicely, but you shouldn't stack them if they look tipsy, because any time can fall, and that stuff hurts. If you've ever had a canned good fall on your toe, it really hurts. So please be careful. Aging in place gracefully. Now, what is this aging in place thing, right? Aging in place is we want to live at home. Like my grandmother says, she wants to die in her home, but she wants to just live there until she passes on. So what do we need to do to the home so that we can age in place gracefully, we can live in the home and enjoy our home, right? Our biggest asset is our home, correct? I've had clients that said, oh, 50 years ago I bought my house for $35,000. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like less than my down payment, right? And now they're selling their homes for, I don't know, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000. So that's your biggest asset. We want to make sure that we get the most out of it. So a few things: painting, flooring, creating curb appeal, updating kitchens and baths, and aging in place modifications. Now, a lot of our clients also say, you know, after I do all this decluttering, I want to be able to have my friends over again. You know, I haven't had my friends over in 5 years because there's just nowhere to sit. I'm embarrassed to have them come in my home because there's so much stuff. So we'll help them to have their place a little bit more comfortable for them as they age. So this is curb appeal, or what we call lack thereof curb appeal. Now, if you owned a home like this and inside came all nice, wouldn't you want outside to have that same feeling, the inviting feeling to have your friends come over? Landscaping and painting, that's all it was. And then taking away some of those, the abandoned vehicles and things like that. But now you wouldn't be embarrassed to tell your friends, oh yeah, I live at da-da-da-da street. Come visit me whenever you're in the neighborhood, right? Because that's more appealing to look at. This is a before. I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is a living room of a home that actually they're in their late 40s and had 3 kids. You know that this table right here was a catch-for-all table. You come home, I buy something, you throw it on there. I take the stuff out, the bag and the receipts and everything is still left there. The next person comes, throws their stuff on it, and then it just becomes a cluttered table that most of it is usually trash. Then you see this right here. We call it an elliptical. I also call it a clothes hanger. Right? A lot of us buy an expensive $600 elliptical, and eventually it becomes a clothes hanger instead of an elliptical. So we helped them to do a few things. We helped them to paint. They had redwood. Now, when you paint redwood, it's still redwood. But the paint helps to make a sealant in your home and helps protect it so it can last longer. And then, of course, look at how bright it is. We didn't add more lighting. We didn't do any of that. We just painted. Look how bright it is, and now you can see a lot more. Okay, and then we just decluttered them so that they utilize their cabinet space. There's a long cabinet here. That's not in the picture. We utilized the space that they had and put things away. We organized it and put things away and cleared out some of the walking paths. And this is a before the kitchen. Now, this client didn't do very much upgrades. Wanted to look a little nicer and look a little brighter. So what we did was, instead of gutting the whole kitchen, we just refaced it all and painted it all and added new appliances, updated appliances. Look how bright that is. Again, we didn't add any more lighting. Painting, especially if you paint white or any of those off-white colors, it makes the room brighter. You can see it. And it preserves your cabinets, and it preserves the wood and your new appliances. Really does make a difference. This is a painting before and after. Now, all this wood rot will go away. They'll fix it and they'll paint it. And paint it, like I said, is a sealant for things. And it's just more appealing, right? Even this one. Would you want to invite your friends to a house that looked like that? Right? They might say, don't touch the walls, right? Don't touch that area. Just walk nicely up the stairs. But with the after picture, you can say, oh yeah, come over. Let's barbecue. Let's everyone come over and enjoy themselves. This is before our kitchen. Now, when we got to the kitchen, like I said, we didn't do anything with the lights. All the lights are on. Okay, so we looked into this home, and we kind of assessed the situation, and we did a few things in here. We didn't change the lighting. What we did was we cleaned what we call bug catchers. How many of us can go up on a ladder and clean the lights? Right? Not easy, and please don't do it. It's not safe. But all we did was clean, and we took away some of the cabinets that were in the way of the door, right? She didn't need this cabinet right here, and that way it opened up the space so that she had more space, and we just cleaned the bug catchers, right? This is up before the kitchen. Again, this is an older home. She wanted to do some upgrades so that she can live in her home, and then eventually she said the home would go to her children. So she wanted to do some upgrades to her kitchen so that she can enjoy it while she's still alive. And these are called cubes. You can get them at any hardware store, City Mill, Home Depot, and they come already pre-assembled. All you do is you stick it, and you get a handyman to drill like a few screws into the wall, and then you put your counter, whether you want marble or granite or whatever you need. And then we added the new appliances. This is a bathroom before. It needed some upgrades. This is the same home as the kitchen. So once you kind of do one, you kind of want to do the rest so that it all kind of stays the same age. Again, this is a cube. This is a sink that comes pre-assembled. You just stick it on. This is a kitchen that needed some work. If we were to gut the whole kitchen, it was going to be way too expensive. So what we did was refaced the cabinet doors. She wanted it to look more modern because, again, child was going to have the home later on, and she wanted to make it look nice. So we refaced all this and painted. We added marble tops, and it didn't cost as much as if you were to gut the whole thing. Okay. But now it's more modern. The mother and actually the daughter did move in to help take care of the mom. So some things about home modifications. Now, showers are a really big thing. It's one of probably the places that you'll fall a lot. And there are all different kind of showers with walk-in benches, or walk-in tile shower where you just walk in. Then there's one with a little lip, and then there's one with both fiberglass and with tiles. So what we do is we'll come into the home and have one of our vendors come and make an assessment of what kind of shower can go in. We're actually doing this currently for my grandmother's house because she has a tub. And she says, oh, it's okay because I have a chair in it. But how hard is it going to be later on when we try to get our leg up? And she's got one of those like jacuzzis, so it's a little higher. I just bathed my daughter there last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so high. So that's why, we want to make sure that we can just go into our showers, right? And then it also helps when you need more assistance, when you need added assistance. If you're in a wheelchair or if somebody has to help you bathe, this is a lot easier than getting you in and out of a tub. Ramps for easy access. There's smaller pictures. I'm sorry, it's small. But ramps to get into and out of your home if you have stairs. It is possible to do. And then this little cool tub assistant is kind of like ones that you see by a bedside, that when you get up from a bed, you have a railing and you can get up. It's the same thing for a tub. You screw it into the ground, and instead of changing, say, into a shower and you really want a tub, you can get one of these handrails, and even if you're lying down, there's a handrail there you can pull up. Because if you notice in a tub, the only places that you can have your handrails are against the wall. So this is a freestanding handrail. And last but not least, the chair lifts. If you don't want to move, your bedroom is upstairs, your living room is downstairs, and your kitchen is downstairs. We've actually had clients renovate the living room so that their mother could live there and stay in the living room. But you can always get a chairlift and install it in your home. So De-Clutter Hawaii and Senior Move Managers, we are a local company. We're a family-run company. We are kind of like what we call a one-stop shop support team. We will help you with anything legal, right? We won't do anything illegal, but we've even gone shopping for our clients. We've taken them to furniture places. So whatever you need help, we'll find an answer and find a way to help you to do it. We help you to reach your goals, and a lot of clients like to call us their personal assistants. I've had a few single male clients that said, I don't know where to buy my linen from or all shower curtains because their wife did it all. So I actually went shopping for them. But those are the kind of things that we do for our clients. This is part of our team. I'm in the middle. Rob is my team manager, and Chris is another team manager. Scott's actually now with the real estate team. And then we have about 6 other staff with us, all guys. I'm looking for women to help me, but it's me and all the boys. But we are a family-run company, and so far right now it's all family or a really close friend of our family because we can trust them. Yeah, because we're going into people's houses. Our phone number, my email, our websites. Our booth is right directly outside of this ballroom, so if you have any questions, look for one of the guys in the green shirts, or you can stop me along the way. If not, feel free to call at any time. That's what we're here for. Oh, that came out funny. I gotta change that. There's 2 seminars coming up. One is called a Senior Living Options Seminar. We do that at 15 Craigside, along with the Arcadia Foundation. We talk about the different kind of living situations that you might face as you age. That is by reservation only. We only take the first 40 or so people. So please feel free to visit us at the booth. We can give you more information to sign up for that. That is on August 28th. And then we'll be at the senior fair. Again, we'll be speaking on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we will also have a booth. So if there's any questions, we'll be out there to answer them. The governor will be speaking next. That's why I want to make sure we have enough time for him. Thank you very much, and have a great day.